Good evening and welcome to my study. My name is Ron, I am your host, and it's my pleasure to share a daily devotional with you. And I do that because God says we should stay in His Word, that we should think much about His Word, and store it in our hearts to keep us from sin. And that is a good thing. And when you stay in the Word, this is what you can be. Last night I think I really messed up the reading, trying to add to it when I was doing it just on my own volition. I'm not going to do that tonight. Tonight I'm just going to give you the word, share it with you, and wait till God gives me something to add to it. Last night I wasn't waiting for anything from God. So let's get to the word tonight. From Romans chapter 8. So now there is no condemnation for those who belong to Christ Jesus. And because you belong to Him, the power of the life-giving Spirit has freed you from the power of sin that leads to death. And that was verses 1 and 2. We'll go down a bit further. And Christ lives within you, even though your body will die because of sin, the Spirit gives you life. Because you have been made right with God, the Spirit of God, who raised Jesus from the dead, lives in you. And just as God raised Christ Jesus from the dead, He will give life to your mortal bodies by this same Spirit living within you. Therefore, dear brothers and sisters, you have no obligation to do what your sinful nature urges you to do. But if you live by its dictates, you will die. But if through the power of the Spirit you put to death the deeds of your sinful nature, you will live. For all who are led by the Spirit of God are children of God. So you have not received a spirit that makes you fearful slaves. Instead, you received God's Spirit when He adopted you as His own children. Now we call Him Abba, Father. For this Spirit joins with our spirit to affirm that we are God's children. And since we are His children, we are His heirs. In fact, together with Christ, we are heirs of God's glory. But if we are to share His glory, we must also share His suffering. Not exactly sure what that suffering is, but I'm leaving that in your capable hands to figure out. If you have some thoughts on that, you can leave me a comment in the comments section below. If you need to send me something more private, you can send me an email at waituponthelord@outlook.com. Other than that, you all have a great night. God willing, we will see you tomorrow. And a verse to keep in our hearts for this week is still 1 Peter 3, verse 15. Quietly trust in the Lord and be willing to. I'm still working on it. It'll be in the outro. Good night.